what's Missin Curfew? It's when you kind of play guilty, but you show up.
How nice is a green light on the road, though? No practice tomorrow, no plane, just go.
Scotty Upshaw in the clear, and he scores! Right in front, scores!
A few laughs, a little bit of fun, and obviously a lot of hockey talk.
You're listening to Missin Curfew.
The lads.
Fella,
My man.
how we doing, buddy?
Great. Doing
Good
good.
to see you, bud.
Yeah, it's nice to be back.
How was we'll get into the to the Aspen and Uppies world, but how was the flight back last night? I saw that you got picked up by the Missin Curfew Sprinter van, and what a pro. You're watching hockey right when you land. I like that.
So the Fella Tour van is it's a big hit. But it's
Fella
nice
Tour
to be back sitting in that seat. You know, I got my one captain's chair. You're right next to me. We got the game on. I originally was watching a little bit of the preview show, Pat McAfee and the boys on ESPN with the national championship game, which we'll get into. And then I turn on the Canucks Ranger game. Wow, Canucks playing good. But what a nice treat to get picked up at LAX. Funny story. So Garrett, shout out to our boy Garrett, who's been driving.
He's a grinder.
He's a grinder. Good kid, right?
Great kid.
Embraces the fact that we might call him anytime. We need him for 4 hours or 14 hours when we go up to LA. But listen, he pulls up. He's waiting for us at LAX. I got the kids, Christina, the nanny, and some fucking cracker tries to jump in the van. Opens the van. He's got a black hoodie on. He was like he looked. He had his hands in his pockets. So Garrett's sitting there. He's trying to get the TVs to work, and this guy jumps right in and goes, "This is my van, right?" And Garrett goes, "No, you got to get out." And he goes, "No, I ain't getting out." And Garrett had to push him out, and the guy was like trying to get back in, and the guy was he was a Looney Tune.
Okay, when you say cracker, you mean like crackhead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like
Cracker could be called a white person too, right? If
I don't know.
I was like,
No. But he was just like he was a hooligan.
He was a meth head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's trying to slam it. Now he's like, he's calling me. He's ringing me. I look, I'm like, "Hey, I'll be right there." He goes, No. Some guy's like getting in the van. I'm like, "What?" So I'm coming through security, like exiting. And
you got your kids with you.
I put my bags down. I come out and he's like, you know, he's emotionally like, you could tell the adrenaline was going. And he's like, "Buddy, the guy had like this metal pipe and was hitting the side of the door." So I checked the door. I can't have the Sprinter van messed up.
You sitting the fella?
Then I see a cop with the dog sniffing. So I go over and I grab. I have Ruby too, my little.
Check
dog.
your pockets real quick.
Yeah. So I go over there and I'm like, "Excuse me, officer." He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "You know, my driver out there with the Sprinter van, some crazy fuck just tried to jump in, and he had to." I'm like, he had to shut the door, and I think he tried to, wreck the guy up a bit. Like, I think.
I'll tell you what, that guy's lucky I wasn't coming off of flight from Aspen. I would have fucking just tuned him up.
Tuned him.
That's game on, right? If he's it's like your house, right? If he's in your car, you could just tune him up.
And totally. And by the flight, with the way the flight was too, you would have been ready to pound someone.
Oh, yeah.
It's just that you're jammed in that
Were
little
you delayed
plane.
a little bit?
Yeah, I was delayed.
Yeah, because I came in yesterday just to catch up with A Hall, and the Sprinter van was still here. I'm like,
yeah, I was delayed. But I told him keep him on on call.
No, he was coming in while I was going out, but I thought you were supposed to land at
2:45 and ended up being 4. But anyway, in saying that, Garrett fucking right, Spud. Gotta stand sturdy on the Fella van, the Fella Tour van.
Yeah, I got some swag heading for him. So when he does pick the boys up, he has a Missin Curfew hat, a couple tarps for him. So
yeah, good guy,
great
good
kid.
Guy. I'm glad he, the first little interaction with some crackhead that he's ready to pound him.
Fuck,
I was proud of
boy.
him. I was proud of him.
Yeah, you can play on our team any time of the week.
I agree.
Well, welcome back, buddy. It's good to see you. You looked great last week at Platform, though. That was a good shot you had with that picture back there. That was good.
Thanks to
Did
Noah
you take that
and Marty.
picture or what?
It was. I didn't take the photo. Hey, you guys mind if I take a picture? Yeah, I'll take this. This was a big photo. Couldn't have taken it off the wall.
I know. Listen, speaking of photos, fucking Loople, this guy, right? Like, I took his pictures from 600 a hook, which, by the way, I rode my bike back by 600 a hook the other day with Mac Miller. I thought it was getting fumigated. There's nothing around it. It could use a fucking paint job, though. I'll tell you that. Hey, it could use a paint job.
He's his own GC. You can just understand the problems he's going to have if that's the case.
I mean,
Joffrey Lupul as a general contractor fixing up a pad, not perfect.
Not perfect, but I drove by. I love that place. But I mean, we've all lived there. But he keeps coming over to my house here. I saw him a lot through the holidays, and the pictures that I took from that house, he's like, every time he likes, "Oh, those are my pictures." I'm like, "All right, buddy, I get it." So I bought 2 My Morning Jacket pictures and a Pearl Jam photo from the last show ever at the Spectrum.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I was
fired up.
That was
the last show.
Yeah, we were. Yeah,
the last
they
Pearl Jam show.
Yes, they played
Wow.
three nights there, and I want to say Neil Young opened for him.
Wow.
Yeah, it was badass.
Dude, that is badass. And speaking of badass, shout out to our boy Frosty. I mean, I've never been to Bottle Rock, but anytime I see Pearl Jam and My Morning Jacket in the same, first of all, I think of you and Loops like, whoa, I got to text these guys. But I think we got to go, man.
Napa Valley,
Let's
end
do
of
it.
May. What an event, by
You
the
don't
way.
mind some red wine too, right? You get the juice.
I've
Yeah.
never been to Napa, but
What?
Yeah, and I talked to Christina about
No,
her
we're
birthday
going.
present. I'm like, I want to go glamping, and she's like, what? I'm glamping. You don't know me already after 5 years of dating. I don't want to go camping.
No, but glamping's different, tell her.
I agree. I'm like, it's just us
It's
and
like the Four Seasons
wilderness.
out in
You
the
can go to
fucking
like
woods.
the Grand Canyon or like
Utah.
Yeah,
Mojave
You go to-
Desert, or is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Mojave?
Moab. And then there's another one called Zion. Like,
Yeah.
there's all these really cool places. Actually,
You know where I want to
looked
go
it up
to? I want to go up to where the guy do the free climb.
Oh, that's
Yosemite.
Yosemite. I would love to go up there.
Yeah, there's a website I was looking at. We got to shout out this it's called what was it called?
I don't know, but listen, to tell your girl, some of these glamping thing are like
badass.
Nice.
I got to think of the name because this place is badass. I looked it up. It's like $600-$700 a night, but you get these full like wooden floored tents, 2 bedrooms, a little bathroom in there.
Yeah.
Like, and you're just out there.
Totally. And there's some of these things up in Yosemite. They have these the Airwind where those
Airstreams.
Airstreams. You stay in there. They're badass record players and shit. And then you got a fire right there up where you could just get after it. But anyways, listen, I think we should put it in our calendar right now that the end of May, that's going to be like conference finals. So we'll watch the conference finals from Napa. But I think we got to go, especially because you've never been to Napa.
Never been. And
Let's do it.
I know. I drink
Let's do it.
much wine. You'd think I'd be up there to get it from the source.
It's great.
Right out of the ground.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Awesome.
Listen, let's talk some NFL playoffs. Hey,
You're talking about playoffs?
Playoffs? We're just trying to win a game. That they every year when the playoffs come, they still put up that coach from the Colts. What was his name, Max? Jim Mora or something like that. And he just playoffs. Anyways, week 18, I had the Bucks going into Carolina, win the division. Baker Mayfield got it done for me. And then listen, the Pats and Jets were playing at Foxborough and maybe Bill Belichick's last match. Snowing, hailstorm. We should have put $1 million on the under. We really should have, like me, you, Loops, and whoever. We put $1 million
over.
Loops had the over?
I think so. In that group text.
Oh, yeah, he did.
I was sitting next to him too, and he's like, "Oh God."
Yeah. Snowing, I'm like, I didn't put enough money
How
on
many
that.
points were in the game?
30.
30 points.
No, the over-under was 30. The score was 17-3.
It was a bloodbath
Yeah.
for Bill Belichick's last game, arguably. You think he still coaches?
I think he coaches somewhere else. I think Jim Harbaugh is number 1 for the Chargers job out here. And if Harbaugh doesn't want it, I think we'll see Bill Belichick out here for the LA Chargers.
Yeah, I think Harbaugh, he's got a good thing going.
If I'm Harbaugh, I go to Chicago now. They're going to get the first overall pick. They're going to take Caleb Williams. They're going to have another 2 first-round picks. You come back. You did it for Michigan, your alma mater. Now come and do it for your old team and win a fucking Super Bowl for the Bears. That's what I would do.
Max is shaking his head back there, but I think that sounds smart.
Why? What do you don't think?
know.
You like
That's
that,
what
Max, or what?
So I like Harbaugh to the Bears. I don't think Harbaugh or Belichick are coming to the Chargers. That was what
Okay.
I was shaking my head
Yeah.
at.
Okay,
gotcha.
well, but I mean, to me, the Chargers is an appealing gig. You got your franchise quarterback. You got a
Worst
brand.
ownership in all of sports. And those 2 guys have a good enough football pedigree. They know that. They ain't going to come work for the Spanos family.
Do you think it's worse than like the Browns?
Yes.
Really? Wow.
The one Spanos is a member at Big Canyon.
I know he
I'm
is.
going to tell him you said that, Max.
Yeah, Max, heads
Go
up.
I'm
ahead.
going to fucking tell him you
He-
said that, Max.
He lives down there, so he's all pride. You know, he's
Oh,
speaking
he's mad.
from
He's
his
still
heart.
mad they left, eh?
I know.
You're still mad they left.
100%.
It's because you guys had a shitty stadium. Hey, speaking of that, did you see the Holiday Bowl, Max, at Petco? It looked okay on TV, I thought.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, Petco Park's one of the best venues in all of baseball. You know, good venue to throw a bowl game at.
But you just can't have a football team there because it's still like the field is like on the infield and then you got left field. That's
But I mean, with the way most of these fields look nowadays, you might as well just play on a fucking ice rink. Like the grass is so shitty.
yeah.
You know.
I would say to Bill Belichick though and Harbaugh, like if you do sign with the Chargers, like don't worry, you don't have to live in that cesspool of LA. You come down here and live in Orange County, right? I
Yeah.
think they
Well,
practice
yeah.
at the Irvine, right? You practice in Irvine, you live down here. We'll give you the Sprinter van to take to the game. I love to see Bill Belichick coach the Chargers. I think it'd be a great fit. I don't know about the ownership.
Just a little, you know.
Well, they need somebody a little crusty.
Yeah,
They need
crusty
someone
was the word I was
like
looking
Torts is doing in Philly. They need someone to come in and kind of These guys live out here in the nice weather, and they all got their big contracts, these Chargers, and they're shit. Yeah. You bring Belichick in and say, hey, listen, this is how we play football now. And their defense was god-awful, and he'll help with that.
Could he be a Hard Knocks candidate, you think, Bill Belichick? Not
I don't know.
Right?
Probably not.
He's just so dry.
Hey, speaking of Hard Knocks, you teed me up, bro. This Mike McDaniels guy, I want to have a beer with this guy. I want to go out Miami with him. This guy's a beauty. I think you should dress up for him as Halloween next year.
Don't tell too many people that.
He has the off-white shoes and the sick watches, and you have all kinds of off-white and sick shit. So, but anyways, Dan Marino was on the sideline with his gold jacket on, and it just reminds me of when I was playing for Calgary and Iginla was coming back. So what Mike McDaniel said, Mike McDaniel was like, they're like, oh, and Hall of Famer Dan Marino with all his records, and he's like, fuck you, Dan. Fuck your records, Dan. We're coming for your records, Dan. I'm like, this guy's a beauty, chirping Dan Marino in a tasteful way. And I just remember it was Iginla's return to the Saddledome, and I'm playing for Calgary, and I was playing no minutes, and you could sense in the room before the game that the boys were like, oh, I'm Iggy, and I'm like, right before warm-up, I'm like, hey, fuck this guy, boys. What did this guy ever do for this city? Let's stick it up his ass. And everyone, like Gio and Stage and Cammy, they're all just like, and Big Ern's like, good one, Holmes. I'm like, fuck, I was only joking.
Yeah, come on, boys.
I know Iginla's the man around
I am
here.
on your team.
I'm on your fucking team. So if you guys haven't checked out Hard Knocks, check it out. Updog playoffs. Talk to me, fella.
NFL playoffs are here.
Who do you like? What are we thinking? Look at those matchups.
I'll tell you what I did bet. I did a little teaser, and I'm going to throw this out there. I'm taking Tampa Bay with the points at home against the Eagles.
Wow. That's big for you.
The Eagles have stunk, and they've cost me some cheddar, which is kind of why I put myself on the shelf the last little bit.
No, you're back, bud.
I mean, listen, they're losing 5 of the last 6 games, and some injuries are piling up. We just had Jalen Hurts, like his finger went on sideways, no fracture, they say, but still. Yeah. And then, A.J. Brown falling out of the game, looked like a tweaked MCL. If at best it's a tweaked MCL, I think they're saying he's going to be okay. But it just, Philly land, man, there's something going on. So I took them, and I got Rams going into Detroit, getting 3.5 points.
I ain't going to D-Town, baby. I ain't going.
What do you like that? I got that.
I think
two little daggers.
A great
there.
Game.
There's a lot of points to be taken in this first round of the playoffs. Like
I would say
take the underdogs.
And you know this. You played a lot of playoff hockey. Jared Goff did go to the Super Bowl with the Rams, but a lot of those guys in the Lions, first playoff experience at home, a lot of pressure. Stafford, just give enough I guess swagger to say fuck you. I'm going to come in here, my old stomping grounds, and get it done. I like that. I'm going Saturday with Mac Miller to Arrowhead. I've always wanted to go to Arrowhead. I didn't get to go throughout the regular season, so I'm going. It's going to be freezing, but I got Dolphins Chiefs Saturday night at Arrowhead. I can't wait. I bought this OVO Drake Kansas City Chiefs toque.
Sick.
I got this old school Chiefs winter jacket and a fucking yellow hoodie, and then I'm going to have the heat warmers and everything.
Really?
I'm fired up.
Where did you find all that?
And if I see Taylor Swift,
impressive.
If I fucking walk by Taylor Swift, I'm not going to, but I do got good seats, row 9 at the 50-yard line. But if I see her, I might have to chime her, right?
Yeah.
I'd just be like, hey, you ruined the whole season.
You have. Yeah, your team has stunk.
They stink.
Yeah, because all they focus on are you.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce's having an off year. Well, for more reasons than one, probably. But you know what? It's football. It'll be interesting to see that game. I mean, they're kind of a team, too, that hasn't been rocking and rolling.
No, they're lucky that Buffalo, your Josh Allen and the Bills won that game, because I just don't think Miami, it's supposed to be like 4 degrees uppy, like colder than it was for that alumni game in Aspen. I don't think Miami can come in and put the winter jackets on and the toques and I don't know, right? Do you think?
I don't. No, I agree.
I'm going to hammer the Chiefs.
Buffalo, you gotta watch out for Buffalo, man. You gotta watch out. But look, see, Packers getting 7.5 points against the Cowboys. I just like these teams kind of.
Eh?
Yeah, I do. I don't. I do.
I was gonna say the Cowboys are my lock of the weekend for them.
At 7.5.
I think they roll the Packers.
If I had a lock of the week right now, I like Houston.
Bills too.
I like Houston. CJ Stroud, bad. He's back.
I would agree with
Houston.
Houston.
He looked good last weekend.
I think the Bills take it to the Steelers. I think the game of the weeks are going to be what you said, Rams-Lions. I like the Bucks as well, but I think that Rams-Lions is going to be the game of the wild card up, dog.
Yeah. 2 great teams and 2 quarterbacks, man, going back at it.
It's going to be unreal.
Right? Like Matt Stafford back in Detroit against Goff.
And Goff's got to play with the biggest chip on his shoulder.
Yeah,
that's
they both
true.
will. I mean, they both will.
I just want the Bucks to win so
But yeah,
bad.
Goff lost the Super Bowl. You know, quarterback comes in and takes the team to the promised land.
I know the feeling. We're going to get to that.
Yeah.
I just can't wait. I love Baker Mayfield. I actually, it's been a love-hate. You know, you talk about your Eagles. I used to bet on Baker, and he fucked me so many times that I started to hate him. But now I love him again, and to see him in there, and if he could take out Larry Bettman's Eagles. Bettman's been Flowers been talking all year how good they are, right? He won't admit that they're just shit. I'm like, just admit it. It's okay. Like, it doesn't make you less of a fan.
Their D is the worst, or arguably the worst statistical defense in the NFL.
Swiss cheese.
Swiss garbage.
Me and the Updog, we got a couple parlay cafes that are, well, Uppies is a parlay cafe. Michigan Wolverines, congrats to them. Portnoy, that beauty. Jim Abbott, congrats to him. Updog's got Michigan to win the national championship, which is taken care of, and you need the Niners to win the Super Bowl, and I need the Ravens-Niners just to meet in the Super Bowl.
What was you got?
Plus 1,700.
Yeah, see, nice. Yeah, I'm plus, I was plus 1,100.
There you go.
What are you, plus 1,700?
Yeah, 1,000 to win 17.
Oh, wow. So I'm 300. I'm 300 to win 3,500. So what's that? 10 to win? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great bet.
That's pretty good.
Fuck yeah. You got one half of it already hit.
Check mark.
You're
Let's
in,
go, baby.
Listen, shout out to Randy Moss. We talked about when he mooned the Packers, Updog's first ever NFL game. He had this segment on Sunday Morning Countdown. It was called Straight Cash Homies. Listen up, these guys, there were so many bonuses on the line. I'm like, look at Mayfield got 2 bananas.
Good
got
for
it.
you, Baker.
Gino didn't get it. This one, I guarantee the Colts GM was like, with Gardner Minshew, when his agent's like, okay, we want 2 bananas if you get 65% of the snaps. They're like, yeah, we'll give you that. No problem. Boom, that hit. But DeAndre Hopkins, Uppy, he needed 49 yards.
49 yards.
For 1.5 million bananas, and he didn't get her.
Tannenhill. I don't care. Throw a fucking audible out there, will you?
Just throw it to him.
One time. He needed, I think he missed it by 2 or, it was under 5 yards.
And you know what?
Check that.
No, it's funny you say that, Uppy, because that was the one that I saw on the Straight Cash Homie that I'm like, this is what I want to talk to Updog about.
For 1.5 million.
If he's the quarterback and I needed 49 yards, I'm like, Uppy.
He missed it by 3.
When we show up to the field, you're like, hey, throw me the fucking nugget until I get it at the start. Right? Then you got to take care of that right away.
I'm early milk carton, right? Tannenhill.
What throw him on there.
What in the F? He'll buy you a goddamn boat. Buy you a yacht. How's that? Here's a $700,000 boat if you hit me with a 3-yard pass. Or something.
What are they thinking?
A couple of Rolexes. And
listen, I love Mike Vrabel too. I love Mike Vrabel from his time as a Pats. I think he's a great coach. He had a great soundbite last week to this reporter when he asked him about, trying to win the game. He's like, because I hate fucking losing. That's why you try to win the game. But you got to put on the coach a little bit too. Like, he's got to want these guys to hit the bonus.
Did you see how many receptions he had, though?
How many do you have?
7.
Yeah.
It's not like they didn't throw to him.
No, but I don't care. Down the stretch.
Down
the stretch, you throw it. Now, they did do the Steelers a huge fave, right? They went in and beat Jacksonville, and the Steelers are, marching on to the playoffs. They didn't have to wait on Buffalo-Miami game, which good luck because Buffalo's buzzing. But they would have needed Miami to beat Buffalo to get in. Instead, Jags lose. Tennessee without the, Hopkins $1.5 million bonus.
I don't care. You got to get that bonus for your guy.
I agree.
They threw at him 10 times.
Well, you throw at him 11. You throw at him 150 fucking times until he gets that bonus. That's $1.5 million. I mean,
he did get 2 TDs though, right?
1.
He got 1 TD. Oh, the Princey fucked that up. But why don't put him the running back? Can you put him in for running back for 3 yards?
It's got to be receptions.
Oh, he's receptions.
Yeah. But you could throw a little screen to him.
100%.
Anyways, I'm fired up for NFL playoff football here. Keeping it rocking with moving into some combat sports actually here. My Irish brother, Conor McGregor, is back, fella. Put down the fucking proper 12 and whatever else you got there, Conor, and get in the gym because he's got Michael Chandler June 29th. I will be there. at International Fight Week, and they're fighting at 185 pounds, which is basically two weight classes up for Chandler.
Wow.
Because Conor,
it's McGregor. McGregor looks like he's on roids right now. Right?
McGregor looks like he's probably 210 pounds
as
right
big
now.
as yours when you were
when
you were buzzing.
My head's still big, but I can't wait, Uppy. I mean, listen, I know you're not a huge UFC guy, but I think you got to make this.
Yeah, I'll put it on the calendar. Fellow tour.
Yeah, International Fight Week, dude. Actually, sorry, this is the same weekend as the NHL awards that are at the Sphere, so you will be there.
Yeah,
Fellow tour, baby.
All right, who are we going with?
Conor McGregor.
No, but okay, for gambling, but do we have like a group that we're going with yet? Or?
Well, as of right now,
Yeah.
it's me, you, Evan Knapp, and I'm trying to get Tom Riley to come.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What a group.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But Tom hates UFC. Like,
That's-
he despises it.
Does he? But a hockey guy.
He's just a boxing hockey guy at heart. So, last but not least, here in the little rundown or intro, whatever you want to call it here, shout out to the Anaheim Ducks. I mean, they should just wear these all the time.
By the
You know
way,
what?
those jerseys, they fuck.
They fuck.
Yeah.
Chris Loomis at the Ducks has been doing a great job with the alumni. It's the 30th anniversary of Ducks hockey. So it was the second decade. They brought in the Stanley Cup champion team. They've asked me to come out. You know what, Uppy? Listen, I saw Chris Pronger, love Prongs, Robbie Niedermeyer. Robbie Niedermeyer's he's the best chirper in the league, right? So whenever we meet each other, we start catching up a little bit, and then he looks at me. He's like, fuck Gomes, you look pretty good. It's like, I got to be honest. I thought when you retired, you end up in a fucking wheelchair. I'm like, well, I just dropped 37 pounds, Bobby. But no, I'm not in a wheelchair, fella. But it was so great to see him. Jiggy, Solani, Kent Huskins from Huskins Coffee.
Yes.
So congrats to the Ducks. Or not congrats. Thank you to the Ducks. It was a great night up, dog.
So they let anybody in there, huh?
Yeah.
Well, you're the honorary. You did play there. I mean, trade at the deadline, awful. But they brought in, who is it?
Kent Huskins was, I reminded Husky too. I
Yeah.
said, by the way, if I don't get traded, you end up the whole year in the fucking
You don't even
banana.
have a coffee shop.
Yeah, you don't even have a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Husk.
Husky.
But shout out to Ken French. He was, you could tell that, like, you know, he knew obviously. So when we got a Q&A, I'm like, Q&A? I'm like, I'll sit that out. Just let the big boys go up there. He's like, no, you got to go up there. I'm like, all right, I'll go up there. So some Missin Curfew fans were there, but Frenchie's trying to tee me up, right? He's like, you know, he was with the young guys, you know, Getzlaff, Perry, Penner, and Cincy and Portland, and made the team and this and that. And I'm like, Frenchie, thanks for teeing me up, buddy. But what he's saying is I'm the only guy up here that doesn't have a Stanley Cup ring. So I see what he's trying to say. And then I kept going up here. I'm like, by the way, it's nice to see Randy Carlisle not have to weigh in. You know, usually when I see him, he makes me weigh in, right?
That's great.
Yeah. So
good chirp.
It was great. The Ducks do a great job with the alumni trying to grow it. But shout out to Sammy, the girl there that runs their whole, I think she's be the publicist of their team, maybe. She runs everything. Great
Awesome.
girl.
For the guys? Yeah.
For the whole team, all the
Oh,
off-ice
nice.
stuff, she takes care of. She's
Cool.
a sweetheart. She'll be in Toronto at the All-Star game. So I thought I wanted to rock the jersey up, dog. It looks pretty nice, eh?
It's a great uni. That purple's it's a deep purple. It's nice.
Yeah. A lot of Red Wings fans there. I forgot how much the Red Wings fans travel.
They travel, man. When I played in Nashville, our first few years, it was full red. The
Yeah.
Red Sea. Gridlock. And then it was like
It's never
play against Iserman.
It's never good when you see the Red
Sure.
Sea. It's never good when
That's
you see the
true.
Red Sea.
It's not perfect.
All right, we'll be right back at Missin Curfew. here.
Spumoni.
Up, dog, my man. We're bringing Lucy to the fellas.
Lucy, what's Lucy, fella?
Funny you should ask, my man. Lucy makes next level nicotine. If you're tired of buying the same mediocre pouches everywhere you go, stop settling and switch to Lucy, fella.
Lucy is made by people who love using nicotine for grinding at work, late nights at the bar, or taking the edge off in the morning. And since they know nicotine, Lucy products have unique features like a double-sided lid that has that disposable area for your used pouches.
That's nice.
I know you like that, fella.
That's nice.
Skip stopping at the gas station and order online at lucy.co/curfew and use promo code
Curfew.
to get 20% off your first order. Lucy offers free shipping and has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. That's lucy.co and use code
Curfew.
to get 20% off and always free shipping.
And here comes the fine print, fellas. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. Warning, this product contains nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Uppy's World. Party time. Excellent. Aspen, baby.
I'm back, though. I'm back. Listen, Aspen was a great time.
Yeah.
Snowed the morning I left.
Let me ask you
I
something.
didn't even get to ski.
Let me ask you something about Aspen.
Yeah.
You know, you're a good skincare guy. You got good hair. You look good. You're aging well. The skin, the nose, the throat, does it not wear on you a bit up there? Like, do you feel good up there the whole time?
That's a loaded question. No, because I didn't sleep much.
Well,
But for more reasons
You
than
don't
just
sleep
going
much
out
here,
and
you-
having fun. Like Beckham was sick, so with the kids, it affects them more than anything. Now, what was the worst is like throughout this hockey season, going different towns, different hotels, that like you just get that crusty like head cold all the time.
Yeah.
I got to be honest, I haven't had that. Maybe it's the Lifeforce, or maybe it's just drinking the good salt water, those elements.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. The humidifiers, right? Key. But this little guy I got, man, he was up like every night, 2-3 times a night. That's not perfect when you're getting home, after 3 or 4 old fashions and a bottle of wine at midnight. You're trying to, have
you're
a productive
pinned.
day
You're
the next
pinned.
day. Yeah, you're pinned. It's not perfect. So the dads out there, the parents, it's not perfect when your kid gets the cold. But I will say, I had a great time. I took the kids skating. Izzy, for the first time, wanted to wear skates, wanted to skate around. She did the little blue, the blue pusher things. So
Saw the picture, yeah.
That was
Cute.
great. Saw Sophie Tucker at Snow Lodge. Great time. Sophie Tucker. Yeah, she brings a good crowd around this.
Did you see Nas?
Well, I went and saw Nas, and we had dinner next to him. That was the night before New Year's Eve.
Should I tell my Nas story? Loops want me to tell
You
a Nas
should.
story.
Yeah, it's incredible.
This is Uppy's world, but let's go back to All-Star break. My first year in Colorado, me, the Fat Daddy, and Winnipeg go to Aspen, and we bring some girlfriends of ours that we met in Vegas at the start of the year because we had an exhibition game in there. They went to the University of Arizona. So they meet us in Aspen. We're having a great time. I'm coming out of, I think it was Dead Mouse or something back in the day, up dog, at Belly Up. And I'm in Upshaw world. I'm on a different planet. And I got these young girls with me, and I'm thinking I'm the coolest guy in the world. And I'm not a huge hip hop guy, right? I know Drake, I know Snoop, I know Eminem, I know Dr. Dre. But I'm not a huge hip hop guy, right? And Fat Daddy at this time is real young. And I don't think Winnipeg noticed, but we came out of Belly Up, and we're waiting for our SUV to pick us up. And this guy black guy, asked us, hey, where are you going? Where's the after party? And I turned to him and said, do you got any chicks with you? And he said, no. And I said, then you're not coming. And we jumped in the SUV. And as we were driving, Factor's like, you know who that was, Opes? I said, I have no idea. Who was that guy? He's like, that was Nas. I'm like, what? Why didn't you say something at the time, kid? Should we go back and get him?
It would have been a cool ride back.
A cool ride. I could have became buddies with Nas.
Totally.
What a meathead move, man.
Yeah, it was an incredible Belly Up for 200 people, and to see him to go in there and know it's going to be like this cool safe crowd. You're not going into this huge stadium getting rowdy. This was pretty intimate and badass.
Yeah.
And he crushed it. I'm not a huge hip hop guy either, but this guy was badass. Of course, Flowers was in his element.
Flowers is a huge hip hop guy.
Yeah, pretending he knew all the lyrics.
You got any girls? No, you're not coming with this, buddy. I mean, listen, that was the way it was back then, right? That
happens.
I don't
Yeah,
know, but,
totally, it happens.
Listen, I wanted to talk to you in Uppy's world here. The Australian Open,
Yeah.
starting January 14th. I know you're a big tennis guy. Shout out to the Australian beauty at our golf course, who is the tennis pro. Ross.
Oh yeah, Ross.
Ross.
Buddy, he's won a Masters as a doubles.
He's a beauty.
Yep.
Wimbledon, no?
Wimbledon. Oh, that's what it's. I
Yeah,
say
Masters.
That's like the Masters of tennis.
Sure is. So I was in the pool the other day moving some water around, and I saw him. I said, fella, who do you like in the Aussie Open? My boy Updog's a big tennis guy. We're going to be talking about it. I want some skin in the game. He said Alcaraz. So I went on DraftKings, baby. I checked it out. I got him at plus 300. So I put a G note on him to win 3,000. I like my chances with this kid, Updog,
Yeah,
right? Fast court down there.
Yeah, it is a fast court.
He's the fastest guy.
Listen, the Joker, he has owned the Aussie Open. There's no way you cannot, and it's even money. I mean, just to be safe, you got to bet that. Long shot, Holger Rune.
Who?
He's healthy now, this Rune kid. He's
Runer.
badass. Well, just follow him on Instagram. He hits the ball like a fucking machine. He's plus 3,500. That's not a bad to just tickle that.
What about the kid, the big left-hander that went far in the U.S. Open, the American kid?
The lefty.
What was his name?
His name was Blake Shelton. Ben Shelton.
He's serving at like 140 miles an hour.
Yeah, he's not on his own continent though. That was U.S. Open. I mean, he was using the crowd as advantage. He's plus 8,000 if you want to tickle it.
Speaking of his own continent, how's my boy, the Australian bad boy? I always butcher his name. What's his name?
He hasn't been healthy.
What's his name though?
His name is
Kyrgios.
Kyrgios.
Kyrgios. I love that guy, man. He's not playing?
He's not playing. I don't see him on here. He's not healthy. I think he's still hurt.
I think you got to suck it up and play in your own national championship, even if you're hurt, no?
Yeah, let's just curious. Is he
Tape the groins. I love that guy, man. When it comes to skill in the tennis court, too, he's got tons of it. And then obviously his off-court shenanigans is right up my alley. But he's not playing, huh? That's a bummer.
Yeah, I mean, Kyrgios is drawing the air fans' seemingly innocent response to news that Rafa won't be playing. I don't know.
Oh.
He's in the news chirping someone. I guess he's chirping Nadal for not playing in the Open.
He's always chirping somebody.
Yeah.
He lives his life with the saying, there's no such thing as bad press, which I kind of had throughout my NHL career, too. That's why I love him. He's a bad boy.
Bad press.
Yeah, there's no such thing as bad press. So, Aussie Open, are you going to tickle it up? Yeah, I'm going to stick with Alcaraz. I'm going with the beauty Aussie tennis pro, of course, Ross.
Yeah, Ross. Yeah,
Ross.
You know what's great about the Aussie Open is you can get just pinned on the weekend and come home at like whatever time and put it on and it's live.
That's like when the Open Championship's on.
Yeah,
we used to go up to Reno for Mike Kachandy's golf tournament, and we'd go play cards and come back up and keep the party going. And then all of a sudden, you're like, "Oh, Open Championship's on! Fire it on, boys!" So that's the same kind of thing.
It's gonna be great.
I'm looking forward to it. I like watching tennis. So
it's the best.
Up his world, party time, excellent. Missin Curfew, dog of the week, dog. I got to go to my boy Josh Manson in Colorado. He's battled a lot of injuries last year. Didn't play his best hockey last year. You could ask him. They even asked him about 2023, heading into the new year. And he's like, 2023 was a terrible year for me. A lot of injuries.
Yeah.
He's back. He's a little dinged up right now, but he's been playing unbelievable. He's leading the team with 82 hits, 5 goals, 7 assists, chipping in offensively, averaging 17 minutes a night, and he's jumping up in the play. He's playing great. He's bringing that physical element to me. So he's our dog of the week, and I love this kid's game.
Yeah, it's kind of like you, bud.
Yeah.
That's why you were like a young Shane
He's
O'Brien.
a better skater than me, probably.
And he's got his cup. But listen, no, he plays the same way. I'm just telling you, he plays the same way. And I'm sure within that group, he's a guy that they lean on. They lean on for physical play, stepping up on guys, finishing checks, sticking up for teammates. But you're right. I remember Getzy when he was here just being like, listen, his potential is so high. He just has had these little tiny fucking nagging injuries.
Yeah, he's always got something going on.
And yeah, I know what that's like. But unfortunately, fortunately, he's back. And like you just said, big reason why the Avs are back.
He brings that physical element too, which is a dying thing in the league. He's great. Listen, the Avs in general, talking about little nagging injuries, like Bo Byram's hurt again. Lekkonen's been out for 3 months, broke his neck. I mean, that's one that you got to take your time with. But Manson's out now. Miles Wood was sick last night. They beat the Bruins in a shootout last night. Thank God, because that was my insurance bet for the national championship. I took the Huskies getting 5. I thought it was going to be a tight game. But
yeah, I know. I was on the right side of the national championship.
Yeah.
Mishy.
I've been on the wrong side of the national championship the last 4 years. Like legit. I don't know why I bet it.
I had a huge parlay with first half. This was on DraftKings, by the way, and shout out to them for those nice little things you can clip, the parlays. It was first quarter, first half mish, first quarter mish, first half mish, game mish, and then it was the over 55.
You hit all those?
No, I didn't get the over. That was a nice one. I did it was plus 700. It was a nice.
Yeah. No, they have some good ones. You put out a nice little. Well, actually, I put out the shots one a couple weeks ago. That was plus like 1,200. Shots. Yeah. Did that one hit? That was a good one too.
Little points. It was all D-man getting 1 point. No, 2 for 4.
Isn't it funny though when you put those parlays in, you look at them like you're like this is going to hit 100%. Like there's no way this isn't going to hit, right? Pasternak over 3.5 shots. I was like, no problem.
Name for parlay because
Parlay Cafe. That's
how about Mr. Impossible.
Even like teas and bets. Like I know Luke's is a big tease.
Is the perfect name for it.
Yeah, because it's hard enough to win one bet. Now I got to win 2. It's like you're teasing me.
Totally.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of DraftKings, baby, I could have put this on the milk carton, but I just put it in bad beats here. Weegsy, baby, I love you, but your Calgary Flames, you're fighting for a playoff position. You go into the United Center and play a Chicago Blackhawks team without, I mean, I could go through the list of guys. No Bedard, no Foligno, no Hall. The list goes on and on. They had a legit American League team, and this is no disrespect to guys that play in the American League. It's a good league. I played in it myself for longer than I wanted to. But if you're the Calgary Flames, you got to win that hockey game. Stupid me, fucking meathead, minus 240 on the road. I take them, and they lay an egg up, dog. They played like shit. They weren't skating, and they lost to a glorified American League hockey team.
This is it only reminds me of the time we bet the Toronto Blue Jays to beat the Kansas City Royals during COVID when they couldn't bring any of their players in. Remember? And we sent it around to everyone we knew. We're like, lock. This is the biggest lock. Look at these guys. They're all AAA ball players.
I sent it to you, and you're like, oops, I sent it to K-Wash. I'm like, no, fuck no, why?
Oh, and then, of course, those are the games that just bite you in the ass.
Listen, the Calgary Flames.
But you remember what it's like when you look across and you see all these, and again, the Chicago Blackhawks, I should be doing over and backs right now with the lineup they have to get ready.
No, you should.
Look at their lineup. You don't know anybody. Those are the games that you're kind of like, the bounces go their way. These guys are just playing for their lives.
They did get a couple good bounces.
Yeah, it's crazy. Was Markey in net?
No, Vladar.
Yeah, so play your starter.
Just fucking play harder.
I hear you.
Like, if I'm in that Flames dressing room, we're winning that game. I don't care. We're winning that hockey game. Like, they have nobody.
Yeah, that's a quiet bus ride.
But you know what? It's more, I should put myself on the milk cart because the Calgary Flames are not a good enough hockey team to ever risk minus 240 against them. Doesn't matter if they're playing me, you, and Loops. They're just not good enough to risk that much money.
Spoken like a true hockey player.
Yeah.
Right?
It's still embarrassing. It's still embarrassing to lose that hockey game. But up dog, my man, get this guy a Blue Light.
My man, fella. Presented by Blue Light, the pristine Pilsner. Enjoy your beers together so you can live life to the power of we. Always enjoy responsibly. Beer, Labatt USA, Buffalo, NY.
Up dog, my man, we're going to start with the Winnipeg Jets. Listen, the Blue Lights would be cold up there. You don't even need a cooler. You just throw them in the fucking snowbank outside your house or outside the dressing room. But listen.
Just don't put them in the room because these guys are hot.
They're hot, man. First overall in the NHL. First of all, let's give some love to my former coach and a guy that you know and respect too is Rick Bowness. Bonesy. Listen, Bonesy, your hair still looks great. Your suits are good. If you're an NHL coach out there and you're trying to look at style, look at Rick Bowness. He keeps it simple. White shirt.
Good point.
Nice solid ties. Grays, blues, blacks, simple. Bonesy, you look great. Skin looks good too. I don't know what you're doing up there in the cold wind, but it's working. But listen up, dog. They're 10-0-2 in their last 12. I did not see this coming, my man. When they re-signed Hellebuck and Scheffler, no, that's not his name.
No, Scheifele. And they traded Blake Wheeler. Yeah, the Scheifele, Scheffler.
Got me up.
Scheifele, Scheffler, and then who's the other golfer? Fuck that we always
Alexander
Schauffele.
Those are hard to pronounce.
Scheifele and Scheffler. Yeah, Obi. I would never correct you because it's hilarious. Yeah, I know, but it's just great. Because I know who you're talking about, and so do our fans. So it's beautiful. It's good flow. It's good flow. But you would have never thought this at the end of last year. Bonesy was probably at a crossroads of should I even come back?
Bonesy thought about grabbing a place out here in Palm Springs,
totally
just teeing it up.
Him and Grant Fuhrer.
Yeah,
you know what? Go down here with the old Firebirds and just I'll go scout some games here just for the love of hockey. I'll step in. Nice barn they got in Palm Springs, by the way. I'd be playing golf, maybe Madison Club every now and then. But listen, they buy out Blake Wheeler. They almost lost those two guys you said. And then a trade that might go down as one of the better trades for. What would you agree? Better for Winnipeg?
I would agree. And listen, I don't know Pierre-Luc Dubois.
No.
I don't know him. He's a big kid, but I have watched him enough, and he wasn't happy in Columbus. Then he wasn't happy in Winnipeg. And granted, those are not two of the most sought-after places to play. But the Kings bring him in. The Kings are playing great, but the Kings bring him in. They already had Kopitar. They already had Philip Deneau. Do you need Pierre-Luc Dubois? And listen, I knew how good Velarde was. Alex Iafallo is a good player too. It was a great trade by Shoveldayoff that's paying off for these guys. But, man, listen, they're playing hard. The arena is back looking packed up. We talked about that earlier in the season about
we questioned them. We sized up and we challenged the Winnipeg Jet fans early and said, guys, you know what? I think even Teemu Selanne, we asked him. But you know what happens here when we don't support your squad? They leave. And then they get pissed off. They don't win, But you know what? Hats off to these Jets for showing up, playing hard, arguably the hottest team in the NHL right now. And you know what it's like getting into this January, February, March. Other teams coming into Winnipeg having to stay in those crusty hotels.
I saw a picture of Adam Fantelli. He was up there. I guess Columbus must be playing them maybe tonight or tomorrow. They were right out there on Portage and Main, him and his two teammates, and they had scarves and everything out. It just looked so cold, Uppy. It looked so cold. But listen, when you're in Winnipeg, you got great fans. Things are rolling. You're excited. Listen, I was there in Vancouver when we were good. You're excited to get to the rink. These guys are playing with a lot of passion, man. And listen, it's Rick Bowness. Obviously, great goaltending. But listen, this team is legit, Uppy. And right now in the NHL, if I would have told you at the start of the year, if we could have betted on DraftKings, who would be first and second in the NHL? It's the Winnipeg Jets and the Vancouver Canucks right now.
Impressive. It's good for hockey. It's good for Canada hockey.
Yeah.
That's great.
It is. So, Updog, one of your boys from your Florida Panthers.
My boy, Alexander Barkov, played in his 700th game on Saturday against the Avs. He is now the all-time leading Florida Panther to play games played. I'm not surprised. Guy's a pro. What I like about him is he's also a great leader. We talk to Matty Tkachuk all the time. The Florida Panthers, in the last 2-3 years, since the Huberdeau trade, since Matty's come in, they had this excellent year last year. Under their new coaching staff and under their new kind of just the way they play, this guy's leading the charge, and I'm happy for him. It's an incredible feed. A lot of Florida Panthers come through there, and when you play there, you don't ever want to leave there.
No,
so
especially
good on
now.
him. And it's not an easy place to play because you gotta put aside the fact that you're driving in your convertible.
Because you're fucking in South Beach all the time.
Yeah,
you got to get back to Fort Lauderdale. And you got to get back to South Beach. And you got to get back to Fort Lauderdale. It's tough.
Damn city almost took me down. It's just great. So congrats to him. Get this guy a blue light, Alexander Barkov.
Yeah, and then staying with the Florida Panthers, our boy Matty Tkachuk, Chucky. 200th career goal the other night against the Avalanche. Listen, they went in there and put it to the Avs 8-4. The Avs are the best team in the NHL at home. Nathan McKinnon's he's got a 24-game point streak at home. It was a statement win for them. Chucky, congratulations on 200 snipes, fella. They've won 7 straight. They're playing the St. Louis Blues tonight. How drunk is Big Walt going to get at that game tonight? Right?
It's going to be great.
Will he go to Obi Clark's before and after the game? Probably,
I
right?
would imagine so.
Yeah.
Probably have the Sprinter van, bring him in and back.
Yeah. I love this. I love this Panthers team.
Yeah.
Paul Maurice, and shout out to my former defensive coach, my favorite D coach, Sylvain Lefebvre.
Yeah,
they got something going here. I'm telling you,
that the staff there, they're enjoying life too, right? And it's just like Paul Maurice, man.
Right up a D.
Who doesn't want to play hard for that guy?
He's a beauty.
Beauty.
We got to get him on somehow. We got to get him on. Get this team a blue light. I don't even know if they're old enough to drink. Under 20, so technically they're not allowed to drink. So maybe we shouldn't get them blue lights. But listen, Team USA. Who am I kidding? They're drinking. Team USA, the 2024, they won the gold medal, up dog. Listen, I'm going to say this. We've talked. We're going to get a World Cup next year of some sort. We don't know if it's going to be 4 teams or what Bettman's going to do. But you look at that projected lineup for Team USA, and I know we got McDavid, McKinnon, Crosby, McCarr, Theodore. I get it. That team looks good.
Yeah.
And that World Junior team, when I watch Team USA, they are locked and loaded. USA hockey is in a very good place. As a Canadian, I'm concerned. Up dog. But what did you think of them winning the tournament?
It was great. They were favored. They had an incredible squad, coached by Matt Carl's brother, who I guess was a good player back in the day. And I never knew.
The D-man, Matt
Yeah,
Carl?
Matt Carl. I played with him in Philly. His brother was the
Tampa.
head coach. So congrats on that. I mean,
How nice of a guy was Matt Carl?
He was a great guy.
He was so nice.
He was just solid.
Good.
Yeah, made good plays. Played a long time. But you know what? I will say this, and this isn't just, me being a Canadian and, losing 2 gold medals before, but there's only been a couple teams that really drive me nuts when they win a gold medal just by their antics. And I'm not saying they're not happy winning and they're not, they don't deserve the right to do whatever they want, but kissing to the crowd and waving, drove me a little nuts watching it, actually.
I'll tell you what. You and Pat Pitter O'Brien. Pitter called me. Said, "Do you see these American kids blowing kisses?"
I waving to the crowd, and even when they're getting their gold medal and doing it. I mean, listen, I know your families are there. My family was there, but I've only seen Russia act like that before, and it drove me nuts. And I had something against, I played with Radulov, right? But I had something against that kid for so long. Even on my team, I'm like, I watch you grab your flag and run it around and do this. Canada has a little bit of class when it comes to winning like that. When it comes to just different, I don't know, to call it different countries and the way you act with the pride. America, I'm not saying this is all on you, but some of these kids, the way they acted, and I was not shocked that the Swedes ended up wanting to fight them at the end of the game.
Yeah.
It was driving me nuts watching it, and it wasn't because I wasn't cheering for the U.S. I think these kids were great, and they deserved to win. They were the best team in the tournament.
I'll tell you what, you team me up. It's milk carton time here. It's milk carton time. We'll get back to Team USA, but listen, at the end of the game, Sweden was fired up. USA versus Sweden. I get it. Swedes are not known for fighting, and USA, they're college guys. I get it. But drop your fucking gloves. Yeah. Are you kidding me?
You're going to get suspended. You might get suspended for your first ever World Championship game, probably. But you drop your gloves.
Drop your gloves, man.
I
what
agree.
is going on? I turned it on. I'm looking at this going, this looks like, I don't even know what it looks like. My nephew's hockey. Porter would have dropped his gloves. Like, come on, fellas. Like, I'm putting you on the milk carton. I love the passion by the Swedes. Losing at home, as you've had that feeling. You know what it feels like. I'm sure it's the worst feeling in the world. And if you want to fight, please, for the love of God, drop your gloves. It's a horrendous look for hockey. The little reputation we have left of being a tough sport here, please drop your gloves. So, and for Team USA, Updog, listen, they had 10 first-rounders. It wasn't Canada's deepest squad. I'm just saying, USA Hockey,
they are
if
good.
I'm Canada, I'm looking at
good.
what do they do? Because whatever they're doing with their Euros, with their national program, it's working.
Yeah. Well, these guys are all buddies. They've grown up together. Their pool it's a bigger pot to pick from, and they're great. They're getting great academies, great coaching, and I would say this, the fact that they do have this national program that they go to at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and they're all around each other, and they're getting handpicked from, some great places in the U.S. Now there's such a demographic change of Florida. You have Matthews and, Scottsdale being born there. You have kids in California. There's just, it's coming. They're here.
And I would say to, I guess, Hockey Canada or these guys that are coaching these teams, like, I get the game's changed. I get it. I get it. But what we used to have against these teams in this tournament was intimidation. Now there is no intimidation. Nothing. These guys are not scared one bit to play Canada. In fact, they're licking their chops to play us a little bit because Sweden had more talent this year. The States had more talent. Finland, to me, looked like they had more talent than Canada. And I would say to the Canadian lads back home, fellas, take it personal. Like, when you go and represent your country, I was never lucky enough to. You did. You're the captain of the team. I get the rules changed, but we're Canadians, man. Fucking still be physical, get in their face and play hard, and you can still intimidate these kids.
Yeah.
And we don't have that. And if we want to go skill for skill against these countries, we're going to end up on the outside looking in more than we are up, dog. And as a Canadian, I watched that tournament. I'm like, besides the geeky kid who I loved,
listen,
I didn't see a whole lot.
And it's so hard. It's a fine line to play physical over there. It's like you hit some guy, and immediately the ref is just like, he's just out to complete lunch, and he's puts his hand up, and then he's like, what do I got to call here? The guy's down because he got rocked. I got to call a penalty.
I'm talking. You're right. You're 100% right. And you played the tournament. You dealt with the officials. The international officials have always been garbage. They're more garbage than they've ever been. I'm talking about getting these guys' faces.
No, I know.
Give them a little fuck you stare. Give them a little cross check. Tell them like, hey, I'll drop the gloves. I don't care. I still don't think that's gone.
No,
We're Canadians.
The
Throw in a rock 'em, sock 'em before the tournament.
Look at Rucker. What's his name? The captain. This
For who?
For U.S. He's tough, and he's they don't care. The U.S. basically didn't care what Canada was going to come in to do. They didn't care what Sweden obviously did. They felt like this was their tournament to win, and they did it. And what you're saying is best on best. They're kind of right there now. It's I mean, top to bottom this year, and we'll give it Canada. Canada won last year with Bedard and the boys. They can't win every year. I get it, but just overall, when I look at this tournament, and you can call me a dinosaur and an old fucking plug, whatever you want to call me, I don't care. We used to go in there and intimidate these guys. Yeah, I know.
And now it's not there. In fact, we look like one of the softer teams when I watched.
I know. Don
Sherry, wherever he's watching, is unloving. I guarantee that. So,
Totally.
I don't know, boys. If you're listening out there and you're a young kid, I love the CHL, I love the Ontario Hockey League, but I'd like to see that intimidation back up, dog. Back up the brakes truck, fella. beep, beep, back her up. It's in Toronto right now. Where does Nylander live? He probably lives in like Yorkville or something, or where do the rich people live?
Yeah, they live
Beaches?
yeah.
Or where?
No,
where's,
Yorkville.
Where's Travis live? North York?
Who knows? Who knows?
Well,
All I know is we'll be going there here in a couple of weeks.
Toronto, we're coming in hot and be ready. Listen, back up the Brinks truck. William Nylander, 8 years, 92 bananas. He's got 57 points in 35 games or something like that. I watched him play the other night in Anaheim. Sick style. He wears his hockey pants a little too high for my liking. If I was Matthews and the boys, I'd tell him to bring those nut huggers down a little bit. Listen, Uppy, we all know that the Leafs now have, what is it? With Morgan Riley, 5 guys making $54 million. They don't have a goalie, although Martin Jones is playing well. They need a defenseman to play with Morgan Riley. I get what Brad's got to do here, and Tavares comes off the books after next year.
After next year, yeah.
What do you think of this deal?
I mean, it's a great deal for him, and it helps the whole league get to that floor for being a top player. I mean, he's making more than Pasternak now, which Pasternak signed a year ago, and is arguably NHL's second best goal scorer modern day in the last couple of years. Do I think William Nylander is a $92 million player on any team in the league? Yeah. Do I think Toronto is now forced for the next couple of years to grind it out? What did Matthews sign for? 4 years?
5 years.
5 years?
Was it 5? At 13.25, I believe it was.
So it was 4 or 5 years. Yeah, let me look. So, but anyway, as you look that up, I'm saying you're giving away, next year, hoping that the cap goes up enough that these 3 guys will be good enough to get you to the promised land, because you're not filling out a whole lineup of 20 players. He signed a 4-year
deal for Matthews.
Yeah, so cancel out with Tavares. That leaves Matthews with 3 more years. Are you saying that you're going to be able to reconstruct your team with a goalie, give yourself a couple more defensemen, and give yourself these guys have lost in the playoffs because of depth, not just because of star players not scoring goals, but because like playoff time it gets hard, and winning in the playoffs, it's your depth guys that usually get you out of these tough situations. I
agree.
I still think Brad Treliving, listen, his quotes on anytime you can sign a great player to a long-term deal, you gotta do it. Well, these guys have held you over the coils, and you could have signed this guy last year to, $8.5-9 million probably.
Yeah.
Now he bent you over the coils in a cap system. It's hard. 3 guys making all that money. It's not.
Yeah. They got him at the peak of how good he's like. Is he ever going to be any better than he is right now? I don't know. Like, I just think like his stock is at the top. I don't know. I think he'll be this player for the next 5 years, but is he going to ever
buy high, sell low?
Yeah. But listen, Tavares has 1 more year, 11. Then he comes off the books, and he'll be 35 years old, going on to his 35. And then Treliving says, "Hey, John, we'll bring you back for what, $4 million or $3 million." TJ Brody comes off the books after this year at 5 bananas, which I think is a lot for Broads. Cap's going to go up. I do think Matthews is going to win one in Toronto, and he may win it before this contract's up.
Well,
I do think Matthews will win a cup
trophy.
No, a cup in Toronto.
Okay,
but he ain't winning it this year.
No, they're not going to win this year.
They're not winning.
Even though the East is what it is, you're still not the best. Yeah.
But I guess what I'm saying, Updog, is I think Brad's looking at it that he's got till 2028 with Austin Matthews signed. Now, I don't know if he'll keep his job that long, but he's got at least 3 years here. He's got 3 years to do something, I would say. So he signs William Nylander. He gets that taken care of. To me, what do they do with Mitch Marner? We're going to get into the Drysdale thing. I think Jamie Drysdale's going to be a hell of a right-handed defenseman. If you want Brad Treliving, I'm like, hey, you want Marner? We'll take a first-rounder in Marner. You can have Marner. We'll take Drysdale in a first-rounder. I mean, if you got Nylander, do you need Marner? They're the same fucking player, and I like Nylander better.
It's a good point, and it's going to be a question that's going to arise when they don't win in the first. Say they don't get out of the first round again this year. It's going to be fire sale up there again. It's just not fire sale that's selling everyone, but I mean, it's going to be commotion in the ocean. How do we fix this? And the answers are what? We have still the same 4 guys that have been here for 5 years.
Yeah, and to me, they don't give a fuck about when they lose. They don't care what people say. They all got their money. They're all rich. They leave town.
Now they know how to play in that it takes a certain guy to be able to play in Toronto.
For sure. And I like Nylander. I like his game.
Yeah,
I think he's sick.
He's
I
worth
just
the
don't
money.
think I don't think you need Marner and Nylander. And like I said, when Tavares comes down from $11 million, if they want to re-sign him for a lot less, and Tavares is playing great, but his contract at 11 bananas for a second line center.
Marner's going to have the no trade clause too, right?
Oh yeah, they all got no moves.
So heads up.
No move, no. But I think you could spin it to Mitch Marner. Hey, listen, we're going to change you to Anaheim. You're going to go out there and play with McTavish and Zegras and live in California. I just think I think Jamie Drysdale's going to be a hell of a right-handed defenseman, and I know it probably would have taken more than just that. Leafs fans, I get it, but I watched Marner play the other night live, and to me, Nylander was way better.
Yeah, no, he's been a better player I would say the last 2 years, and in the playoffs last year he was better, and he's playing at the top of his game. He's worth the money, and he probably could have got it anywhere, if not more.
Totally, and we as ex-players, we want everyone to get paid. So good on you, fella. Break out the Amex team dinner on Nylander.
No kidding.
Go to Park, our buddy's restaurant. Travis, get a little team meal there, Willie. Around the National League, Drysdale. We'll start right there, up dog. You're a former Flyer. You love playing there. Cutter Gauthier says, I don't want to be a Philadelphia Flyer. I'm taking my talents to Orange County. I love Jamie Drysdale. Let me touch on him. I sent him a text. Told him to say hi to Torts for me. Told him, I said, listen, kid, Torts is a good man, an honest man. Yeah, he's a little crazy sometimes, but you can always talk to him. Jonesy's a beauty. Good luck. And then he texts back, and you said, good number. He's wearing Updog's old number 9. I think this guy helps him right away. I want the Philadelphia Flyers to make the playoffs. I know Jonesy and Danny B and them, that's not the expectation. But me personally, I want him to get in, and Jamie helps him right now, Updog.
Yeah, I agree. Number 9, great number. I do have a funny story. When I walked in, got to New York City to play my first game with the Flyers, and in my stall was number 10. Right, and I walked in, and of course, you've been traded before, right? You peek at the numbers. You peek at the numbers available, and I was like, man, 9's available, right? And I was always 19 growing up, but in Nashville, David Poile basically didn't even give me an option. He just gave me 7. And then so anyway, I came in and I got Derek Settlemeyer nasty. I got Brick, who's our skate guy. And anyway, I'm like, is there any way, like I looked at, is anyone wearing 9? Like, 9. I know it's a great number. I know I just go back with 9. And he's like, let me call Homer quick. So he calls Holmgren and he says, Updog wants number 9. And Homer, I guess on the call was like, he wants 9, doesn't he? He wants 9. Let's give him 9. So Nasty, within like a warm-ups to the game, had taken down the 10, which was Leclerc too. It's a badass number to wear. I just wanted to wear 9. I thought it looked faster or whatever, cooler. Yeah. And he's like, Homer, he wants 9. Let's give him 9.
Yeah.
That's so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Homer's a badass. So that was badass. So Drysdale, good luck with the number 9. I think Drysdale, like you just said, is everything a team needs. He needed a new change. It wasn't working here in Anaheim for him. He was a little bit banged up. He missed all last year. I love what he's been in the league since he was young, 18. And he's got a lot of upside. So, but potential top 2 pair for me. Anyway, should we talk about what, modern day NHL players are saying coming out of the draft? For me, I play for the Flyers. I know what it takes to wear the jersey. I know what it takes to show up and play in front of their fans all the time, which could be a bonus, could be not. If you're soft, not the team to play for. If you're scared, not the team to go in and have to play or to play for, because you can't hide in Philly. No. Whether it's the fans, the coaches, the people working at the rink, they know when you don't play hard. I would say this. I listened to this kid, he's at the draft. This was all over. Obviously, all these, those broke the internet yesterday, what happened. But, he's wearing his Flyers jersey. People are asking him, so talk about who your favorite player is. And there's a clip where he's like, it's Sidney Crosby. Everything Sidney Crosby's done is, I looked up to him. I used to shoot pucks into the dryer and the washing machine when I was a kid, just to be like Sidney Crosby. And then I'm waiting and I'm like, okay, so what else are you going to say? You're wearing a Flyers jersey. You now say, I can't wait to play against Sidney Crosby. I can't wait to take
cross-check
him. Cross-check him.
Can't wait to cross-check
because he was my favorite player, but now I'm wearing the Flyers jersey. So in my head, I'm like, he's obviously, he's dumb, or he's not aware of, like, is there any hockey IQ? So he obviously, maybe it was a plan right from day one to not play. But you know, that quote right there, maybe his DMs just flooded with Flyer fans being like, are you crazy? You think we're going to allow you to just talk about Sidney Crosby like that? You know, he's taken 3 cups from us in the last, 15 years.
Yeah.
So I would say he started off on the wrong foot, and, maybe he's either the most, genius person ever to not play there, and now he's stuck here in Anaheim.
His lifestyle is going to be a lot better out here.
It will be. And I'm sorry I'm going on in this rant. But
I would say, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah,
I would say if I'm a young kid looking at what they're building in Philly, and maybe I'm biased because I love Keith Jones, I respect John Tortorella, I think they're building something good there. And if I'm a young player, ultimately you want to be part of a good organization. There's good fans. Now, as a veteran guy that played through the league and sitting here at 40 years old, I'd rather play for the Anaheim Ducks and live down here. But listen, if you don't want to be a Flyer, like Jonesy said, you don't want to be a Flyer, not going to be a Flyer, I think Jamie Drysdale is going to help them out tremendously. I think Torts will be good for him. And like Torts said, he's a right-handed D-man that can move, can pass the puck. Those things don't grow on trees, up dog. So I think it's going to be a great trade for the Flyers. And I think he's going to jump right in and do a hell of a job.
You're right.
We will see.
I like him. Where do you peg him in there? Where does he play? Does
I
he
put
play
it with Sanheim right
Hell
away.
yeah, right away.
Right away,
Let's
I
go.
put it with Sanheim.
Now I hope, I know he had a bad kind of groin the last couple months. If he's healthy, he's going to go in and make such a difference for this team. Yeah. It's night and day. He's like the young little Chemo Timonen coming in there to make the right pass, make the right play, hold on to the puck, and he can he can skate like the wind.
Yeah, I agree. We'll save Connor Bedard for Thursday, fella. We're gonna. I don't want to rush it here, so we'll save Connor Bedard in the hit for our Fella Friday show.
For sure.
Fella. But hey, good to see you. Welcome back, Jamie Drysdale. Good luck in Philly. We're pulling for you boys here at Missin Curfew. Max Hall Pass Media, fella.
That was Missin Curfew, fella.